we've got these texture pastes. We've got them in white, clear and black. And obviously you can use them just as is, as most people do. But we have experimented a bit and tried to use them in slightly different ways and want to share how we do that. So there we go. You can see them like...
So on the side of the screen, you get 3 off
there. There's the black you can use just neatly, but if you start adding waxes to them, because obviously a wax is water-based, the texture paste is water-based, you can get some really lovely colours. In fact, the one I just did a moment ago, it's still wet and will take a while to dry. Right. But that was black, but it's now got this sort of bottle green to it, and it dries like a polish. And it's so cool.
It looks like wax.
Yeah, it does look like wax.
Polished wax.
Yeah, but it's the paste that gives it dimension, and I'm going to use it again. But this time I'm actually going to mix the black and the white together and use different colours. So rather than just use one, we're going to use 2. So I'm going to start with the white because I don't want to contaminate my white. Is that white? No, that's clear.
It's good to check, isn't it?
It's because white, I mean the clear is when it
dries clear.
It dries clear, so definitely got the white there. Right, so I'm going to put some out on my palette. And what I love about this is if you have wax, you think, right, what can I use my wax for? I know, I can buff it onto things like texture paste and resin. I can buff it onto hearty clay, but we can actually put it in things as well, which is really exciting. So just put a bit of both out, and then I'm going to put some turquoise wax, and I'm going to put some purple wax because I think they're quite a good colour combination, aren't they, together? And I don't want to get grey just yet, so I'm going to clean my palette and I'm going to start with the white. Now, because it's white, you're going to lose the intensity of the turquoise. You're going to make more of a pastel.
That's just mixing, it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like icing, you know, doing icing or. And of course, these, you know,
it's got like a lustre to it.
It has got a lustre to it. And you could argue, well, why don't you put the multi-surface paints in there? The multi-surface paints you can do it, but it sort of doesn't stay the right consistency, whereas the wax, you maintain the consistency of it. So
I see.
I'm now going to put the turquoise.
So we've used the wax lyrical to mix it in, haven't we there? So.
And the black, because it's so overbearing, the colour added to it is a lot more subtle.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, those actually, as they come straight out of the tube. Can you see the thickness of them there?
Yeah. Right, let me hold this up. Oh wow, see on the back too. So, I mean, look, if you want great coverage, I mean, what more can we say? I mean, that's the quality we're showcasing here. So, the heart of gold. So it's the blue moon you've used there, is it?
Yeah. It's that one.
Oh, is it that? Sorry, aquamarine. Yeah. The one's got the apple pie. That's a pretty one, isn't it? Blaze orange. They're just gorgeous. Yeah, and you can see it's consistent colour. Quite often you get different effects, don't you? But that really is a good testament to the quality here. And if you're wondering how do you actually use and what do you use them on, if I spin this round, then you can see, there we go. So wax on resin.
Yeah, on
wax
different
on
things.
fluff it, I like it. Yeah, wax on paper even, it looks, you got that lovely, like a pearlescence, like a glow.
Yes, yeah. On paper it's quite difficult to get it to be really flat and smooth, I personally find, which is fine if you want that sort of, if you wanted more of a textural finish. It's really perfect for going over sort of raised areas where you're just catching the raised part.
Just highlights the definition.
Yeah.
Is that the white clay, is it? The hearty air dry clay?
Yeah.
We get through tons of that here.
Yeah. I love it. It's fantastic stuff.
That is a beautiful effect. Think of all those moulds, all those jewellery moulds and so on. Yeah. Oh, right. Beautiful stuff.
So that's how you would imagine you would ordinarily use the wax.
It's just so rich and gorgeous, isn't it?
So what we're going to do is we're going to go straight onto paper, and I'm actually going to mix the colours on the surface. So I'm going to go in with the purple. I'm going to clean my palette on the stencil, and this stencil we've got on the show as well. And I'm going to go over with the turquoise and kind of sort of blend a bit on the top, so you won't get any hard edges. And then I'm going to go in with this lovely green. I love this. And quite often with our stencils we have an open edge here, so you can get some really interesting effects, you know, if you want to do it onto, say, a cushion cover and carry on with some pigment.
So it's almost like you're marbling in the colour.
Yeah, a little bit.
The blend.
Let's take it over the edge. So this is another way of using your waxes. Right, so I've not stuck it down, I'm using the actual paste itself just to hold it down.
Gorgeous.
But, I mean, look at the grading from, I mean, especially there, from the purple to the thing.
It's a lovely transition.
Yeah, so that is lovely in itself. And because it's texture paste and that is raised, when that's dry, you can start buffing on waxes on top of that.
Right, okay.
Okay, so you can then, so say you want to go in with the gold, you can add sheens. Now the key for this is always to put it straight into some water.
Right.
If you don't, it will dry solid and be really difficult to get off. So we'll do that. I've got a little trough underneath me. And so put that to one side to dry. And I've got another one here which I'm going to use on this fabric.
Right.
So, and I'm not going to have enough, so what I might do is actually just put a little bit of clear on my palette as well and mix those in with the clear. So you don't think, oh well, I'll just choose one, or I can only do this technique with one. You can do this technique with mixing them all together. I need another palette knife, which is here. I think of all of them, the clear is probably my favourite. So I'm just going to go in
with the fabric. It's just good to see this, you know.
But again, this clear, I could add a bit of colour to it, and it dries completely different to the white.
Oh, right.
Okay. And I do like this black. I think black on this yellow is going to look pretty cool.
You don't overthink it. Just have a play.
Yeah, don't overthink it. I always think it's a mistake to overthink things. And then I'm going to show you, I've got some dry ones here, and I'm going to show you what you can do with them once it's dry. Just a little bit of purple down here. Whoops. Right. Other than this bit I've just gone underneath. Can you see? Now this will dry, the milkiness will go and dry clear, but we'll maintain some colour here.
That colour's going to be like it's encapsulated in the clear then.
Yeah, it is.
There'll still be a transparency there.
Yeah, and then we're going to leave that to dry.
Right, so Cathie, thanks for that.
Right.
This is gorgeous, all this.
Well, instead of doing just one bit at a time, I thought I want to get Aries done, so we'll just try and do instead of batch cooking, we're batch painting. So this one, in fact, let's put them in order.
Batch crafting.
Yeah, let's batch craft. So these three here are texture pastes where I've already put the wax in with the paste, and that's why it's got the colour it has and that beautiful sheen. It's on Bockingford, and I've spritzed all of this with water.
Okay.
This one was just clear. And then I've gone over with some multi-surface, and that's why it's sort of picked out some of the detail, but I'm going to go in with a darker colour. And these two I did, well, this one on the previous show, this was a dark brown piece of fabric, and then I've dropped in some inky blue, but the texture paste has acted as a resist, and I've done it here, but I haven't added the blue.
So you haven't bleached anything out?
No, that's literally texture paste clear through a stencil, and then I've just dropped in some blue, and so it's acted a bit like batik, like wax.
Yes.
Sort of.
That's quite a traditional method, isn't it? Yeah, batik fabrics and so on. Yeah,
so I've mixed up some inky blue, which is one of my favourite colours of ours. So
sorry, which medium is this one?
This is the multi-surface paint. Yeah, because I can use this on the fabric, I can use it on the paper because it's going to be permanent on both. Of course. So let's start with, now this one here started off identical to this one here, except I've already put some purple in it. So what we're going to do is do the same with this one. We'll start at the top.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love what you do, sort of thing. I think it's great.
And can you see where it sort of filters into all
it just pulls where it wants to.
Yeah. Exactly, and what I wouldn't do is do the whole lot. I would sort of, a bit like this, I'd let it sort of run a bit.
Yeah.
And then when it has dried, and let it dry naturally, I'm going to put a little bit down here, let it dry naturally. When it's dry, with a slightly damp cloth, you buff this up, and any pigment that is sitting on top of the
remove that
on top of the paste, it's moved. So I've buffed this one already, so you can see that it's exposing the true colour of the paste.
It's just another layer of interest, isn't it?
So this time I've got the purple this side. I'm actually going to have the blue from this side. So you can start introducing layers here of colour as it goes down. Can you see? It's again spidering through. It's such a cool technique. I love it. And again, I'd let it spread naturally. This one I did at the very last bit of the last show, and again, if you just wanted to add little bits of darker areas. But the other thing we can do, and I've done it again on this one a bit, and we'll just move, I mean, you can move it around and you know, have a bit of control over it, or just leave it. But what works brilliant on here.
It's nice using a dark atmospheric colour there.
Dark colours work way better. But what we can do is with our Stardust powders is we can actually drop them onto them while they're wet.
Right.
And you get like this constellation effect, because it absorbs the water and then goes hard and stays, and that's what I've done here. I don't know whether you can pick it up very well on the camera, but again, it works particularly well where it's very dark. So we're using texture paste, Stardust powders, multi-surface paint, waxes and the stencils to create beautiful backgrounds.
Is it
all on our Bockingford, yeah. And what I'll do is I'll put this on the Pink Inkers group Facebook page to show how this dries. Because this is a dry one.
It's just the most.
Yeah. I mean, look at that.
Just beautiful, luscious colour collection we got here.
But can you see where I've polished this one already with the cloth? I literally, and you do have to have a good quality paper to do this technique. This would be damp, and you literally just brush it, and it takes the top colour off the paste, and you've got this lovely texture. But that is a great base to then do some fussy cutting and putting on. And then, of course, we come to
each and every piece is so special. This could be a demonstration in its own right, and yeah, batch demoing. I like this.
Yeah. So right, I'm going to put the real dark right in the centre, and then it will start to seep and move. I mean, this one's going to be quite difficult to see because I've already put a blue on it, but it can get even darker still, and it will seep and blend. And again, I will show that one finished. This one might be easier to see because it's lighter. In fact, let's do it this way around, because I'm going to do dark here and let it seep down, so we might get some sort of greens going on. And like I say, that I have spritzed this with water, so it's encouraging the travel of the pigment down through the fabric. Can you see it's slowly spreading?
Yeah, totally.
And where the texture paste is acting as the resist, a bit like wax would with batik. But this then could become your background. You do the most gorgeous gold embroidery stitches on the top, and you know, you could do something. I mean, this is quite a contemporary stencil.
Yeah, right. I've missed your embroidery with threads and so on.
Yeah, I mean, you could do machine
sequins on there.
machine embroidery on top of it as well.